Hey, hi, hello friends, and I'm back. And today I'm a little short on time. So hey guys, I'm gonna start this off with saying that I'm gonna maybe rush through a lot of what I want to say right now because I'm a little short on time today. My sister and I have a day planned. We're gonna go do a thing together as like the girls, people. They're not very exciting plans. There will be sushi. There will be haircuts, maybe a manicure, maybe a tattoo. Who knows? Let's see. I'm only kidding about the last one. Not that there's anything wrong with that. With that, all that said, I want to talk about the video that Chantel put up. Oh, God, by now it's probably like 4 days old or something. But it's the I Heart My VIBeezers. She's pretty pissed in this video. She's also extremely doped out of her mind. And so let's jump into it. It's about 4 minutes and 20 seconds or 5 minutes and 20 seconds worth of video. So I'm hoping we can keep this to like a 40-minute react.
That's what I'm saying. People are like, overdose. If you overdose on edibles, you go to sleep peacefully. That was a very peaceful sleep.
All right, first thing I want to just really flag really fast is the mannerism in which she's talking in this video, her whole body language, the exaggerated movements that she's displaying. It's weird. There's like, I am like a novice when it comes to drug stuff, right? Like the only drugs I've ever done have really all been legal. And quite frankly, even then I don't even, like I'm allergic to codeine. So I can't even take like Vicodin, right? So I have no experience with this, literally none. My mom, it's like a genetic thing. My mom's allergic to codeine too. I've never really had anybody in my family who's been on any kind of substances. So I don't know, but something is wrong here. Like the way that she is behaving it's like ringing alarm bells in my head. So I'm actually really looking forward to Smokey Stephen Mark's video coming out tomorrow because I think they'll be able to illuminate what exactly this illustrates a little bit better. And second thing I want to point out really fast is she says that drug overdose like on weed is not really a thing. It is a thing, right? Much like with cocaine, it isn't maybe as severe as overdosing on like meth would be, or alcohol poisoning, for example. So it's not as severe as that, but that doesn't mean that it's without any kind of repercussions. I'm going to throw up a thing here because I don't have that right in front of me at this moment. And I don't want to mess with my computer stuff right now because I am an idiot, as you guys are well aware, and I will for sure end up like turning something off accidentally. But the side effects of overdosing on drugs are things like panic attacks, it's respiratory issues, it's like heart complications. So it's not nothing, right? It's not that nothing can happen. And then also you have to remember that when you are that inebriated on any kind of substances, your decision-making capabilities go down significantly, and you're much more likely to do or say something that you would otherwise regret. Sorry, had to edit out a sneeze. So I look at the way that Chantel is behaving here and the way that she's talking about drug overdosing, and it makes me think that, well, do you not care about what the side effects are that are not like necessarily like medical side effects, but the consequences of being inebriated and that high all of the time? I don't think she does, because I think a lot of the time she just assumes that, oh, it's fine. I'm not going to face any consequences for my decisions. And that's how she chooses to live her life. It's why she feels so comfortable being a massive glutton and doesn't worry about the fact that all of this would catch up with her and she could possibly die.
Sometimes things get lost.
Look at this.
In my house. And I end up finding it.
She's been massively high before. Her mannerisms here are different. They're different. I don't know what it is, but it just, their speech patterns are different. Her eye movements and head movements are different.
No.
It's just... If you guys don't know, right now she's talking about her wallet. Her wallet is currently missing.
He did not take it.
He's talking about Method Man.
My wallet.
Wouldn't he?
What's that?
Okay. So she's She's really, really mad. She's saying that, like, you know, Method Man didn't take her wallet. She's like, he wouldn't take my wallet. He absolutely would. All right. He absolutely would take your wallet. And you want to know why he would absolutely take your wallet? Because he is in the business of drugs. And he is using you for money. He had no problem taking and then subsequently breaking your TV. He had no problem taking your phone. He had no problem essentially using you for cash. When he is dependent on you for all of those things and he sees that you're willing to give him just about anything, whether his thinking is correct or not, even if you want to be like the most generous, you could say, okay, he might have just thought she wouldn't have a problem with me taking like $20 out of her wallet or just taking her wallet overall. I've done that sometimes, right? Like, I don't have any cash with me. I'll grab partner's wallet because I'm like, all right, partner has cash. There's nothing wrong with it because I know partner wouldn't care. But the relationship here is different. And you vehemently denied being essentially his cash cow. I apologize for the quote unquote fat joke that's inherently built in there. It's just a, you know, turn phrase. But you've essentially denied being his bank account. So when you are saying that, well, he wouldn't take my wallet, I don't necessarily know if that's true. Whether it's earned or not, he might actually think that you wouldn't care. And maybe you don't. But when you're in a relationship with a man who you seem to be having this amount of emotional turmoil with, and he takes your wallet and he breaks your TV and he essentially seems to ghost you whenever your accounts are running a little bit low, it paints a very troubling picture.
Here come the dramatics. Oh. That's the smell of I don't have to do shit. I don't have to do shit. Especially prove myself to Miss Potato Head.
All right, somebody put up a comment in their chat, and I'm going to throw it up on screen as well so you guys can take a look. Essentially just saying that FFG had made a comment regarding some abuse that Method Man had committed against Chantel, and that she should either confirm or deny that. And this is Chantel's reaction to that. This person is giving her money and is obviously a fan. So her reaction here, I think, is not only unwarranted, but it's quite honestly a little bit despicable. Like, how can you behave that way towards someone who is literally supporting you right now? They're literally saying, hey, confirm or deny it, so at least we have it on record and we can just say, yeah, you know, you're full of shit. That's what they're asking you for. They're asking for a line from you so that they can deny it. And I think the reason why Chantel isn't willing to go on record is because there's been too many times before where she's gone on record, said things, and it turned out that she's been completely wrong. She was wrong about what she was saying. She was lying about what she was saying. And we've seen this a lot recently where she will do like a soft version of giving a statement, but something that's easily deniable and easily walk-backable. And the reason she's doing it is that she can play the technicalities game, right? She can say, well, technically, I didn't lie. Yes, but it's your intent here that matters, right? This is not law. We are not here to debate the intricacies of what you're saying. I'm not going to argue with you with the usage of may I or should I or can I, right? That's not what I'm here to do. I'm not here to argue technicalities with you. I'm not here playing lawyer in a courtroom. What you are saying has clear intent behind it. And the problem with working in those murky areas is that it gives Chantel ammunition, at the same time frustrates her. Because on the one hand, she can say, well, I never said that. They're just making that shit up. How dare they read something into my intentions, but that's not what I meant. At the same time, though, we can take her intentions however she wants because she isn't giving a definitive in one way or the other. When you say something like, yeah, I might be seeing someone, you know, you guys may know them, but, you know, we all assume that it's Method Man. And then she comes back and she says, well, I didn't mean him at all. Maybe I was talking about Nick, you know. She can do that, but we all know that she was talking about Method Man, right? We all assumed correctly from her previous pattern of behavior that she's talking about Method Man. And it frustrates her to no end because she doesn't like being known, being perceived as one of Chantel's, I want to say biggest fears or phobias. It's a thing she doesn't like. She doesn't like being perceived in the literal sense, and she doesn't like being perceived in the figurative sense. She likes to pretend that all of her problems are very, very unique, right? Terminal uniqueness, as Steve from Smokey Steve and Mark would say. And because he feels like, you know, they're terminally unique, she can't really solve them. There's no help for her out there. There's not enough therapy. There's not enough doctors. There's not enough appointments. But at the same time, because she has this problem with thinking that my problems are unique and I don't want to be perceived, anytime anyone hits it on the head and they, get it right, what she's thinking or feeling, it unreasonably bothers her. It agitates her. She wants to be seen as a woman of mystery, who's had all these lovers, and she's like this fat, amazing woman who does all of these amazing things, when in reality, she's a morbidly obese woman slowly dying on camera, flashing her ass on stream for a few extra dollars. She's doing everything but e-begging. And quite frankly, it's a little distressing. Sorry, there was something sitting on my counter. It was bothering me. Frankly, it's a little distressing. I don't like the way that she behaved with someone who's a paying member, who's literally there supporting her. I really don't like that. Her attitude is absolutely disgusting. As for not wanting to defend it, not wanting to say anything, all she really has to do, if she doesn't want to talk about it, and be like, I don't want to talk about this. End of story. And then regardless of what anyone says, regardless of what anyone speculates after that, you can say, no, I never said that. I just don't want to talk about it. It's as simple as that. But Chantal thrives on the drama. She thrives on the conflict. It's an inborn need with her. It comes from wanting attention, wanting to make herself the center of every situation, and having main character syndrome. And this is why I've called her like low-key Gabby Hanna. She's the obese Gabby Hanna. 100%. Because they both display the same characteristics, right? Gabby Hanna blames her ADHD. Chantal blames her addiction. I'm using my other hand, but you guys can't see it because it's off camera. Chantal sits on here and she calls everybody her bullies. Gabby Hanna gets online, calls everybody her bullies. Chantal goes online, supports Negs. Gabby Hanna goes online and supports a literal rapist. So they have a lot of similarities. And that's why I don't think that Chantal would be any more likable person if she was thin. Gabby Hanna's thin. She's not likable because she's a bad person. And I fully believe the same thing about Chantal.
For someone who just wants to help him, just wants to help his sister.
Look at her face.
Because I'm with an abuser and I'm going through something so traumatic. She sure fucking talks about my abuser a lot.
There is some merit to what she's saying here, right? I'm not going to deny that I do feel a little bit conflicted about talking about Chantal's abuse, because I do make some amount of money off of this channel. And, it is a perilous situation. I do genuinely believe that she's in some amount of danger. And I feel a little bit conflicted about it. And I've mentioned as much multiple times on my channel. I'm of two minds about it. On the one hand, I think that bringing more attention to this situation is better, because I don't think that Method Man will stay with her if she's broke, and she will be broke if she doesn't have a channel. So I want to talk about it, and I want to encourage the community. I don't like telling people to go report people, dox people, whatever. I don't like that kind of behavior, but at the very least, I think YouTube should be reviewing her channel. I don't think she's going to get better without her constant predilection for stirring up drama and her constant need to be on live stream being addressed as well. And I don't think that can be done until she's completely cut off from it, right? So on the one hand, I'm like, I should talk about it, because I think if I have my channel up and I'm talking about it, then, there's more attention being drawn to this and it will get back to YouTube and they might do something about it. On the other hand, I also feel kind of bad because I'm like, it is something that's traumatic for her. And then on the third hand, if, evolution would just hurry up and give me that third hand, I also think to myself, why am I feeling bad for someone who obviously doesn't seem to give a shit about their own life, right? There is stuff in my life, I've said this before, that I don't feel comfortable sharing with you guys, that I don't want out there, and I would feel a ways about if people knew more ins and outs of. It's just how it is, right? I'm a person, I'm a human being, I have feelings and I have emotions. That's why I don't put it on YouTube, because I don't want those things out there. And when I look at Chantal and I look at the way that she behaves, right? I think about why she does what she does. And I think that if her need for attention is much greater than any self-preservation instincts that she has, then I think to myself, why is that my problem to solve, right? Why should I feel bad about talking about something when obviously Chantal doesn't feel bad talking about something? And I know she doesn't want to talk about the abuse anymore. But that's the thing. It's always anymore with her, or it's always, well, I changed my mind after the fact. And she flip-flops so often from one minute to the next that I don't really think it's a fair expectation to have of me. She's continuously changing her mind on what she finds acceptable and unacceptable to talk about on her channel. I do not live in her brain, thank God. And so I cannot sit there and be like, okay, well, I guess Chantel's changed her mind, so I should also drop that stream of conversation, especially because just because she's not talking about it, it doesn't mean that it's not still having a massive impact on the behaviors she is displaying on live. And lastly, wanting to help someone out doesn't mean that you have to not talk about a situation. I think the Free Britney movement is a really good example of that. People for years and years before any of this became mainstream have been talking about freeing Britney, about wanting to give her her freedom back, about ending the conservatorship and the power that her father has over her. And they've done this without any support from the mainstream. They kept the story alive. They kept it in front and center and in the public eye because it was a situation that needs amending. And it's the same thing with the Johnny Depp situation. The Depp fans have kept this story alive. They're the ones, I mean, there's some people out there doing incredible, like, pseudo-investigative work I am quite impressed by, because of the care and dedication shown. Now, I understand in some cases it's because they love someone, but in the other case, if you guys have seen the documentary Don't Fuck with Cats, dislike and anger are just as good motivators to make sure that people don't get forgotten, that everybody gets their just desserts, as it were. And I don't think that Chantel is like a fucking serial killer, right? I've said before, she's not the worst person on the channel, but that doesn't mean that we shouldn't keep her from self-destructing on camera, which is what she's doing. No one will convince me that her channel isn't anything more than just slowly dying on stream, right? And I don't mean her channel dying. Her channel is stagnated, or it's like just slowly gaining, which is fine, whatever. It's her as a person, as a human being dying on stream. Same reason why I don't think that Eugenia Cooney deserves to be on this channel. I don't want to put that shit out there. I don't want to glorify self-harm in this way. I don't want to glorify this need for attention that people have. I don't think it's a good thing. And I think the more Chantels that are out there, the more people are going to get on live and think, I could do that. And it has a detrimental effect, because when you purposefully make yourself the lol cow of the internet, what ends up happening is the hate that you get, it becomes a cycle, right? Especially if you're not the kind of person who can handle that kind of negative attention with ease. I think the best example of that, of someone who can handle it, is Trisha Paytas. And even with Trisha Paytas, I think she suffers, right? Because of the way that she chooses to make her money.
And things that somebody going through trauma, abusive trauma, shouldn't have outed all over the internet. But dignity comes with a price. Am I talking about me?
Okay. Whew. I find it very funny that Chantel talks about dignity. She has not displayed any form of dignified behavior in a very long period of time. And I know most people are going to look at this and they're going to think, well, I'm talking about her showing her ass on stream. I actually don't particularly care about her showing her ass on stream. It's not something I want to see, but I don't care. There's a ton of people who do that for a living, and I have no opinions on that one way or the other. You do you. As long as you're being safe and as long as you're happy, I don't give a shit. But the behavior that Chantel displays on camera is undignified. The way that she mocked someone who is essentially paying for her to have the life that she has, that's undignified. The fact that Chantel is sitting on camera and essentially taking time, energy, and effort from her parents that her mom, that her uncle have put into her, and fleshing it down the stream, I think that's undignified. I think that the way that she lies on camera, the way that she e-begs on camera, that's undignified. I think that the space that she takes up in Pete's life when he is already suffering and when he's already doing his best, I think that's undignified. That's what I mean when I say that she has not displayed any dignified behavior. For all that, I think a lot of what she does on camera, even flashing, is undignified because of why she's doing it, not that she's doing it. I don't want to hear any like slut-shaming comments down below. Please, like, you guys already know this. I'm a bleeding heart liberal. I think that anyone who wants to do whatever with their body, they can go ahead and do it. I would also say I don't think that OnlyFans or sex work is for everyone. I think it takes a really hard mental toll on people, and I don't think people consider very truly the cost, the emotional cost that it can have on you as you go forward in life. But at the end of the day, if that's a decision people want to make, then it's none of my fucking business. I just don't like the fact that Chantel will do it and she'll pretend that she isn't doing it, because she's doing it essentially for attention. It's the same way that children often will act out in class because they're like, any attention is better than no attention. And the fact that as a 37-year-old you don't seem to see that is honestly both depressing and upsetting. But it is in no way dignified, right? And she's saying that French Fry Girl outed her, but French Fry Girl didn't out her. Do you remember the video where she said that this relationship was abusive in every single way? Do you remember that relation? Do you remember that? Like, she has gone on stream and confirmed the fact that he is an abusive person. She's gone on stream and she's confirmed that he's a bad, toxic person. She has told us about the fact that, he has track marks in his arms and attributed that to him just being a regular blood donor, right? Like, look, I'm a regular blood donor, fun fact, in case anyone is wondering. I don't know why, but I tend to be always, like, just biologically, I tend to be, like, on the higher end of my, like, red blood cell count. So they look for people who are at least a minimum of 12 and a half and, like, generally are around the 13 mark. I tend to be, like, 15 and a half. Like, I'm abnormally high when it comes to my red blood cell count. So I always go and I give blood and I have a rare blood type. Whatever. Cool. I'm not using it. Someone else might as well make use of it. And I'm telling you this right now that as someone who bruises like old fruit, I have never had track marks. I will have 1 or 2 pinpricks in my arm, and because you cannot donate blood more often than 6 weeks, they will fade. So if you've got multiple pinpricks in your arm all of the time, that is suspicious, right? But she says stuff like that. She'll be like, there was somebody who was obviously on drugs sitting outside of his house saying that I'm that guy's friends with condoms all over the place. You've had his friends throw money at you to show your tits. He doesn't seem to have a steady job. He seems to be up all night, has a very high metabolism, is very skinny with bad teeth. All of those things point to drug use. And here you are saying that other people are outing you. No. I don't think that that's an accurate description of events. You put the information out there. People just put it together. You confirmed the information. People are just running with it. You can only control what you put out into the world, right? You cannot dictate how people will take that information. You cannot dictate what people will read into that information. That's why you have to be so careful about what you put online. It's one of the perils of the internet. It's one of the reasons why I, along with many other creators, don't put a lot about our personal lives out there. Because we know that it can come back and bite us in the ass. And you've been in the YouTube game long enough to know that. And the fact that you don't know that, honestly, it's just not my problem. If you choose not to learn from your past, if you choose not to learn from your mistakes, then I can't help you. That's a lesson that life has to teach you. And if you continue to not want to learn it, that's all on you.
Hey, Sandra. Come on, you eat my shit. If you are. It's not something to talk about if it's not your experience, right?
Okay. So I'm going to put the comments from Sandra up as well. Sandra is essentially saying that, someone in the comment was saying, her eye looks like someone has punched it. And Sandra's defending her here. Fun fact. Sandra's saying, no, it's just because of all the sodium she's been eating. Her eye's just looking a little puffy right now. And instead, she goes after Sandra. She's like, you're saying a bad thing about me? Well, fuck you. Eat my shit. Like, dude, this is a person that's supporting you, that's paying for you. You want everyone to give you the benefit of the doubt that you are no longer lying about your drug use, that you're no longer behaving in this manner, that, Nadir has changed his mind, that he's no longer a bad person, he's no longer abusing you. You want everyone to give you and your cokehead boyfriend another chance. But this is the way you attack people when you don't even know the full context of the situation. All I'm saying is practice what you preach. And I'm not saying she's going to be perfect all of the time, but she makes this mistake over and over again. She attacks people over and over again. This other, she had, like I said, even before, right? She had a person asking her, hey, is this true? If not, you should confirm or deny it because people are going to make up speculations in either way. And she's just like, I don't have to do shit. Well, you don't have to do shit. You really don't. No one is forcing you to do anything. But inaction is an action, fundamentally. Choosing not to do something is still a choice.
Illyria, see my dignity? Lack of dignity was from farting.
I'm gonna wait till she finishes the thought, then I'll address it.
No, from trying to out other people for views. Thank you, come again, eat shit, bye.
See, once more, this person is like, you know, you're talking about dignity when you've literally been doing undignified things on camera this whole time. And I think this person was talking about Chantal flashing her ass and whatnot on camera. But that doesn't excuse Chantal's behavior here. If you're taking their money, you owe them a certain amount of respect because you are depending on them for your livelihood, okay? And if this is your job, then act like it's your job. I wouldn't show up at work and behave this way. My job is very casual. I work in a basement laboratory and I never see the sunlight. I'm lying on the second floor, but that's the vibe you get, right? It's like a tiny lab where I'm basically just existing. It's very, very casual because I work on the West Coast and people are a lot more lax about formalities there. I've got friends with tattoos and like all kinds of weird hair and everybody's in jeans and t-shirts. Like no one is there like being like full office garb, right? But there's still a certain level of decency and respect that's deserving of a job, of a workplace. And if this online space is your workplace, then it deserves to be treated as such. If you can't treat it as such, then you don't deserve to be treated the way an employee or a contractor would be treated. I don't have to be nice to you if you're going to behave like an asshat on the internet, you know? And no, you didn't lose your dignity from farting on camera. You lost your dignity from being an asshat on the internet. You lost your dignity from being a disgusting person on the internet, from being racist on the internet, for being a bad human being on the internet. That's how you lost your dignity. Okay? I don't respect Chantal, not because she farts on camera. I think it's gross, but I don't think that's why I don't respect her. I don't respect her because she makes bigoted comments. I don't respect her because she's a bad friend. I don't respect her because she refuses to help herself and then victimizes herself for the world. She victimizes other people and then makes herself the victim of their abuse. I hate that shit. I don't hate her. A lot of the time, I've said before, it's a strong emotion. It takes a lot of energy out of me, and I don't generally like committing that kind of thing. But it is what it is.
Yeah, Sandra, you're fucking bipolar. 1 minute you're like, I love you, Chantal. The next minute, I think it's sodium you're puffing out. You're a sight for sore eyes.
I just want to point this out. I don't think she's aware of this, and I don't think many people are. A lot of like the face movements and the tics that she's displaying right now, those are gestures that people who have severe mental illnesses sometimes do. And a lot of people who do them, they're doing them in a mocking way. You're essentially calling somebody the R word, but with gestures. I don't like that. I don't think she's aware of that, but in case you or someone else in your life does this, just be aware that that can come across really insensitive. I have had people in my family who have been severely autistic. I have had people in my family who've suffered like that. And for the most part, they were like kind, lovely people, right? The person I'm talking about in particular died. And I don't think it's fair for them to be portrayed this way, especially not by this nasty, vile woman on the internet. And you're saying that she's bipolar. I'm sorry, but are you mental health shaming? Because I can call you a crackhead. How's that? But that would be addiction shaming though, right? You calling somebody bipolar without actually knowing anything about them. That's not mental health shaming. Even though she's defending you and you don't know the context of the situation, right? You're showing your ass on the internet, you goofy ass bitch.
Are you okay? Are you on medication?
She's not, but you really need to be. And I don't mean that as a dig. I really mean she needs to get back on all of her fucking medication. She needs to go to a psychiatric facility. And she needs to have herself seen, like all the way seen. She needs so much more help than anyone in her audience. And the fact that she's just sitting there laughing her ass off high on God knows what and has the audacity of this bitch. Like, that is the part of this that really bothers me. The audacity that Chantal has to come for people on the internet about their mental health when she sits on her fat ass in her room, in her filthy, disgusting hovel of a room, and talks about, I'm so depressed, you guys. I'm so sad, you guys. Why should I show you any kind of sympathy? Why are you deserving of the sympathy of anyone on the internet? Least of all Sandra. And, I mean, goddamn, Sandra, you fucking bootlicker. Like, after Chantal, if somebody in my life treated me the way that Chantal's treating Sandra right now, you had better believe I would be out of there so goddamn fast it would make their head spin. There is not a person in the world who can get away with treating me like that because I fundamentally deserve better. I don't deserve to be talked down to like that. And the fact that you don't seem to see that and you're still there supporting her is sad. I'm sorry, but it's just sad. Don't give her money. Don't give her super chats. Don't even think, like, you guys think you can go into her chat and you can engage with her. This is what happens. People who are being nice to her try and engage with her. Don't get into her chats because you're like, oh, I'm going to troll her. She's going to block you. She's going to block you. And the best thing you can do is watch her content through the farms. I said what I said. I'm not taking it back.
You guys think I'm stupid, huh?
Yes, I do.
I see. Every single person in this world is a troll. Ew!
Someone said this in regards to Gabby Hanna, but I think it also applies here. That if it smells like shit everywhere you go, you might want to take a sniff on yourself, right? Like, check the bottom of your shoe, maybe. Because not everybody on the internet is a troll. I'm on the internet, and I've talked to a bunch of people who've been nothing but kind. I've talked to a bunch of people who've actually been truly awesome, right? Like, I'm actually thinking of one person in particular, Lauren Chris. She's a supporter of mine, of a lot of people in the community. She stepped away for a while, but she's a lovely person. Like, I mean this all the way. She's like a lovely, lovely human being. A lot of the creators that I've spoken to, like in person, one-on-one, lovely, lovely creators. Like, in particular, just saying, she's so sweet. She's such a sweet person. Please go, like, subscribe to her, go watch her stuff if you guys haven't. Please, please do. So when you're sitting there and you're like, every person out there is a troll, they're not. Not everyone's a troll. You might be a troll. You might be a piece of shit. And that's why you think that everyone else is a piece of shit too. But don't like project that hard. Don't act as if you are the person who's the aggrieved party here. Don't act as if like everybody else is wrong here. That's just you projecting your behavior onto other people.
This is soggy lettuce. Stop annoying me.
It is not the responsibility of your chat to manage your emotional state for you. If you're annoyed, then that's on you. People can say whatever they want about me in my comments down below. I said before, unless you guys are using very specific language, you're saying very specific things, I don't block anything, including negative comments. I do block links. So if you're gonna link me something, like don't put links in there because it's spam. But you can say whatever you want about me because I don't care, right? Like, my emotional state is for me to manage. It's not the responsibility of the internet. So if everyone on the internet is annoying you, then that's on you. Figure your own shit out. Don't make that my problem.
What did you say? What's this mentality that everything I talk about on my channel, you've outed first? So I'm just going to continue to talk about it and add layers of lies onto it. I'm going to talk about it to death on my channel and exploit it for money. But you're not allowed to exploit your experience on your channel. That's wrong. You're just doing it for views and money. So I'm going to do it on my channel. Fucking morons.
You're allowed to talk about whatever you want on your channel, but that doesn't give you the right to dictate what other people are going to talk about on their channel. I've never said, no one I don't think has ever really said, hey, don't talk about this stuff on your channel. I said if you don't want to talk about it, then don't talk about it. There's a big difference between saying you can't talk about it and saying that, hey, if you talk about it, then others will too. I won't know information if you don't disclose information, okay? And if you put something on the internet, people can talk about it basically until the earth stops spinning. You can't control the actions of other people. The only people whose actions you can control are your own actions. And you choosing not to do that is, once again, not my problem.
Right?
No,
right?
No, not right. You're not right.
Krabby Patty, you're so close to being blocked. Please piss me off.
Third
I
person.
smell stupid coming. Does anyone else smell stupid?
Well, she's been in that room for a pretty long time and she doesn't clean. I imagine that's her own smell she's smelling.
It's very heavy in the air. You can smell it.
Yeah.
What do you think? What do you think?
I'm sure, given the fact that she doesn't shower, I'm sure it's pretty heavy in the air.
Smells like a French fry. Smells like stale grease. I think.
Yep. does smell like stale grease. The kind that comes off of a Nashville chicken sandwich, I would say. The kind that collects underneath her uncleaned fupa. The kind that is probably leading to a lot of her biological issues. That's the kind of smell I imagine lies and stupidity has.
Whenever someone mentions Miss Potato Head, I smell stale grease in the air.
That's probably her sweating at the mention of French Fried Girl.
What do you think? You smell it? I smell it. Yeah. No, not just her or anybody. The smell of stupid hangs thick in the air.
It writes itself.
Your fans are full of assholes. Their public chats are usually a total mess.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you're right. But that's okay. That's what makes them fun sometimes.
All right. And I'll adjust that in a second. I wanted to end it on that basically of Pete saying that, well, your accounts are full of assholes and your public accounts are all a mess. That's absolutely true. He's not wrong. A lot of people really dislike her. A lot of her fans are trolls. A lot of people are just there to watch her self-destruct. It is what it is, right? That's the audience that she's cultivated. But as far as her saying, well, that's what makes it fun, there's that need for validation and attention from the internet again, right? Like, don't be sitting here telling me, oh, hey, I don't like causing drama. I just want to be left alone, when you're literally there, like, fucking stirring the pot, like in one of the three witches from Macbeth. I think that is the perfect encapsulation of her behavior towards the internet. She hates the negative attention, but she just loves the attention part of it, right? Like, it's like the negative kind of sucks, but the attention is so good that she's just got to go back for a little bit more. Much like it is with everything else in her life. That will be it from me on this video. I was kind of heated. I hope I wasn't like too fucking mad on this. I'm trying not to be quite so angry. I don't like being that angry loud girl on the internet, quite frankly. But Chantal seems to bring that out of me a lot, especially more recently, especially with her behavior on the internet as of late. She's just been displaying such atrocious behavior that it makes me want to like smack her a little. And that will be it for me. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you guys like this video, please give me a thumbs up. If you hated this video, hey, go ahead and give me a thumbs down. That's perfectly acceptable. I respect everybody's opinions here. You guys know this. And like I said, you can tell me whatever you want. I will 100% listen. It doesn't mean that I'll do anything about it, but I'm always willing to read all the comments. I try and comment as much as I can and like respond to people, but I've been so blessed. I have so many people here that are new and who are like saying lovely things to me and who are just overall leaving me comments that I have the very fortunate problem of not being able to respond to everyone anymore, or even most people, but I do read everything you guys post. And I've got all my social medias linked down below. I've got Instagram, Twitter, and Patreon, okay? I like to mention Patreon last. Continuity. Patreon is a tip jar for the internet. You guys know this already. If you guys like the job that I'm doing here and you'd like me to continue, consider tossing a few coins in my direction. I really do appreciate it. And I wanted to say thank you so much to my patrons of honor. I've got 2 of them now, you guys. I've got 2 $25 patrons. What? I don't know what's happening. I'm like a little confused. Thank you so much to my girl D. Higgins. You are amazing and I love you. And thank you so much to our brand new $25 patron, Ocean Song. First of all, Oceana Song, I should say. Oceana song. I love that name. I don't know if that's your actual name or not, but that is beautiful. Thank you so much for becoming a patron. And as always, I'm Jasmine, the sequel, and I am not relatable. Peace. A special thank you to my patrons, Acrophobe, Ariel M, Christina, Courtney EP, Dainty B, Jam Beans, Sidra Z, Colleen L, Debbie Elliott, Justa Jude, Kate O, and a special thank you to my $25 patrons, D. Higgins and Oceana Song.